It was one of those mornings when the world seemed too busy to care. Rain was drizzling over the gray streets of Portland, and people rushed past each other with their heads down, chasing time, missing moments. Amelia Hart, a 24-year-old seamstress, stood by the window of Cup of Joy Cafe, clutching her sketchbook. Her hands smelled faintly of thread and fabric glue. Life wasn't easy. Her father had passed when she was 16, and since then, she'd been stitching clothes to keep the lights on in her small apartment above a laundromat. She dreamed of one day opening her own boutique, but for now, she made custom dresses for anyone who'd pay $50 and a thank you. That morning, as she waited for her coffee order, she noticed an elderly woman sitting alone by the door. Her clothes were worn, not the fashionable kind of vintage, but the kind that told stories of forgotten winters. Her thin hands trembled slightly as she held an empty paper cup. People passed her by without a glance. Amelia's chest tightened. The woman's eyes met hers for a brief second, watery blue eyes, filled with both dignity and quiet pain. Amelia walked to the counter, asked the barista for an extra cappuccino and a croissant, and brought them over. "Here," she said softly, placing them in front of the woman. The old lady looked up, startled. "Oh dear, you didn't have to," she whispered. Amelia smiled. "Everyone deserves a warm morning." Tears glistened in the woman's eyes. "You're kind, too kind." Amelia shrugged, sitting beside her. "I've been where you are." "Maybe not exactly, but close enough." They talked for a few minutes. The woman said her name was Martha, that she used to work as a florist before her eyesight began to fail. Her husband had passed years ago, and her only son was away somewhere, riding motorcycles, she said, with a trembling laugh. Amelia left soon after, late for work again, but somehow, her heart felt lighter. She didn't know that one small act of kindness was about to set in motion a chain of events that would change her life forever. That evening, as Amelia walked home, a loud roar echoed down the street, the deep, metallic growl of a Harley-Davidson. She turned and saw a man in a black leather jacket pull up near the cafe. His face was hidden behind a helmet. He parked, looked around, and went inside. Curious, Amelia watched as the man spoke with the barista, gesturing toward the corner where Martha had been sitting that morning. Then, he stepped back out, scanning the street, and their eyes met. He lifted his helmet slightly. "Hey, are you the one who bought coffee for my mom this morning?" Amelia blinked, surprised. "Your mom?" He nodded. "Martha. I'm Luke." Amelia smiled. "Oh. She's lovely. I just wanted her to have something warm." He looked at her for a long moment, his expression unreadable, then said quietly, "She talked about you. Said some angel with kind eyes gave her the best coffee she's had in years." Amelia laughed softly, brushing hair from her face. "That's sweet of her." Luke took off his helmet completely. His hair was messy, and a tattoo of a rose curled around his neck. "You know," he said, "not many people even see her anymore. Most walk past like she's invisible." His voice cracked slightly. "She's all I got." And seeing her smile today, it meant more than you could imagine. Amelia didn't know what to say, so she just smiled and nodded. "Can I give you a ride?" he asked suddenly. She chuckled. "On that?" pointing to the massive Harley. "Yeah," he grinned. "It's safer than it looks." After a moment's hesitation, she agreed, half out of curiosity, half out of something she couldn't explain. As they rode through the city, the wind tangled her hair, and for the first time in months, she felt free. They stopped at the riverfront, the lights reflecting on the water. Luke told her about his life, how he'd been a mechanic, then a long-distance biker, constantly drifting. He admitted he hadn't seen his mother much in recent years because he couldn't bear to see her struggling. "I thought I'd let her down," he said quietly. Amelia listened, her heart softening. "Sometimes," she said, "showing up again is enough." Luke turned to her, his eyes glistening under the streetlight. You really believe that? I do, she said. Kindness has a way of fixing more than you think. Days turned into weeks. Luke started visiting the cafe every morning, sometimes with his mother, sometimes alone. He and Amelia talked more, laughed more, and slowly, something real began to grow between them. But then, one evening, everything changed. Amelia was closing her small workspace when she got a call. It was Luke. His voice was shaky. Mom collapsed, he said. We're at St. Mary's Hospital. Amelia rushed there, her heart pounding. When she arrived, Luke sat outside the emergency room, his face pale and tear-streaked. She's stable, he said. But the doctors say she needs heart surgery soon. Amelia placed a hand on his shoulder. She's strong. She'll make it. He looked up at her. I don't have the money, Amy. I spent everything trying to keep her meds going. Without a second thought, Amelia said, I have some savings. Not much, but... No, he interrupted, shaking his head. You've done enough. I can't. She held his hand. You don't have to do this alone. Over the next week, Amelia launched a small online fundraiser, sharing Martha's story, her kindness, her struggles. The response was overwhelming. People from all over donated, strangers, locals, even bikers who knew Luke from years ago. The surgery was successful. When Martha woke up, weak but smiling, she took Amelia's hand. Your family now, she whispered.